Imagine a mind, trained in the precise logic of law, dedicated to upholding justice. Now, imagine that same mind, shattering into fragments, driven by an unimaginable force. Today, we confront a case that defied easy answers, shaking a nation to its core and plunging us into the chilling depths of the human psyche. This is the story of Beatrice Bijous. A Florida lawyer, seemingly composed, living a life of professional order. Until one ordinary day, outside the Fresh Market in Fort Lauderdale, order dissolved into terror. Without warning, Bijous deliberately drove her vehicle, transforming it into a weapon, mowing down 4 innocent pedestrians. The chaos of the street was quickly replaced by the sterile confines of an interrogation room. And it was there, under the stark fluorescent lights, that Beatrice Bijous uttered words that would send shivers down the spines of hardened investigators and leave a bewildered public questioning everything they thought they knew. She claimed. Demons instructed her. Was this the desperate plea of a mind succumbing to a catastrophic breakdown? A terrifying instance of possession, beyond our understanding? Or something even more sinister, meticulously planned beneath a veil of manufactured madness? Join us, as we dissect the raw interrogation footage, witnessing the unnerving unraveling of a once respected attorney? We'll explore her disturbing behavior, the chilling details of that horrific incident, and the complex legal battle that followed.
Before we get started, I do have to read Miranda warning because you're sitting here in the police station.
Are you drinking?
Yeah, please, by all means. And it's just part of our rules that we have to abide by, that when I have a person sitting here in handcuffs and I want to talk to them and find out what happened, I have to read this and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we are at the Stewart Police Department.
Can I have my phone so I can delete my social media?
Well, why don't we talk about that in a second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Today's date is 2/22. All right. So these are your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand what I read to you?
Yes.
Okay. You go ahead and just sign right there. All right, perfect. All right. So I've been told a little bit about what's going on, but I got some basic questions before we get into what happened. Have you had anything to eat today?
I ate an apple.
Okay, you had an apple earlier? What time was that? Was it like morning or afternoon?
Morning.
Okay. Your driver's license says you live down in Boca. Did you drive all the way up here today?
No.
Okay, where did you drive from today?
I live in Stewart.
Okay, where in Stewart do you?
On Beach Road, Stewart, Florida 34994.
Okay. How far did you go in school?
I'm an attorney.
You're an attorney?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where do you practice?
I have my own law firm.
Okay. Where's that?
In Fort Lauderdale. The office is located in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Well, we've had a big day today. One of the things that worried me is someone said that you heard voices. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I've been hearing voices telling me to kill myself and to kill other people.
When did that start?
I have a gun at my parents' house right now,
Okay.
and my brother took it away.
Okay.
He put it in a safe.
Okay.
I've been trying to kill myself for quite some time. I moved to Texas,
Uh-huh.
and I tried to kill myself in Texas, and it didn't work. I tried to shoot myself, and the gun didn't go off.
Okay.
And then I tried to do it again
How long ago was that?
last year,
Okay.
around April 2021.
Okay, so last year in April, you were in Texas. Is that the first time you tried to kill yourself?
I got diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia
Okay. When was that diagnosis?
2019,
Okay.
and it ruined my life.
Okay.
I've been in and out of mental institutions.
Uh-huh.
I think this is last year was the fourth one, and they locked me up for an extended period of time.
Do you have a physician you see on a regular basis? And who's that?
Akinyeme and he's Nigerian. I know he's Nigerian. He's Nigerian. Akinyeme, Dr. Akinyeme.
And where does he practice?
He practices in Stewart.
Okay. Is he a psychologist or
He's a psychiatrist.
psychiatrist? And how long have you been seeing him?
The interrogation begins with Detective George calmly reading Beatrice her Miranda rights, which she acknowledges. She seems oddly composed and talks casually about eating an apple earlier in the day. She confirms she lives in Stewart, Florida, and reveals she's a lawyer with her own practice in Fort Lauderdale. But then the conversation takes a darker turn. Beatrice admits she's been hearing voices, disturbing, relentless ones, urging her to hurt herself and others. She says these voices have plagued her for some time. Diagnosed in 2019 with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, she explains she's been under psychiatric care and has attempted suicide before. Her mental health issues, she claims, have never reached this point until now.
Psychologist or
He's a psychiatrist.
psychiatrist? And how long have you been seeing him?
I've been seeing him for 6 months, I think.
Okay.
No, not 6 months. 4 months.
4 months. Okay. Is he prescribing you any medication?
Yes.
What does he prescribe you?
He prescribes me zibrasidone, which is Geodon, and oxycarbazepine, which is trileptal.
Okay.
Oxycarbazepine, the trileptal is for the bipolar disorder, and the Geodon zibrasidone is for the schizophrenia.
Okay. How long have you been taking that medication?
Right. For, I want to say 4 months.
Okay. Has it been working for you? No. When was the last time you talked to your doctor?
The last time I talked to my doctor was, I believe, in December.
Okay. And do you know what the date is today?
Today is February 22nd.
Okay, 100% right. Have you told the doctor you didn't think the medication was working well enough?
Can't remember.
Okay. Have you been taking your medication as you're supposed to?
No.
No?
No.
When was the last time you took medication?
This morning.
Okay. What about before that?
Before that, I don't know.
Okay. Like more than a week? Did you hear my question? Has it been more than a week after today? Since today?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay. Let's talk about today. What time did you get up this morning?
This morning I got up at 5 a.m.
Okay. Is that normal?
I get up at 5 a.m. every morning.
Okay. Did you go to work at all?
No.
Okay. Do you have kids?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay. Where do you live?
Palm Beach Road,
Okay.
Stoke, Florida, 34994.
Perfect. I just forgot. I know.
Right over there.
Okay. What'd you do when you got up?
When I got up, I went to go take a shower and brush my teeth.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then I sat in my bed, and I just laid in my bed after that.
Okay. And what were you thinking about when you were laying in your bed?
To hurt myself and to hurt others.
Is that a normal thought for you? Or did that just start today?
I hear voices.
Okay, what do the voices usually tell you?
To kill myself.
And is that what the voices usually say? Or did they tell you anything else?
They tell me other stuff to hurt others.
And how long has that been going on?
Since I got diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar.
Okay.
Since 2019.
So they've been telling you to hurt others since 2019. Have you ever hurt anybody before?
No.
No? Today was the first day?
Today was the first day.
Okay. But they've told you to hurt people before. Why was today?
Detective George asks a critical question. Why was today different? It's a question that cuts through all of Beatrice's previous justifications. She explains that her medication hasn't been working lately and admits the voices were particularly overwhelming that day. For the first time, she says, she acted on what they told her, to hurt strangers. She offers a chilling confession. The voices didn't just suggest violence, they demanded it.
First day.
Okay. But they've told you to hurt people before. Why was today different?
I just lost it.
Did something trigger you?
Can I speak to a lawyer?
You have the right to speak to an attorney.
Okay.
We'll end it for now. Do you have an attorney in mind that you would like to call? Do you have an attorney in mind that you would like to call?
No.
Okay. If you change your mind, you can always talk to me again, okay? Just want you to sit tight for a little while.
I want to keep talking.
You want to keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay. You requested an attorney. Are you waiving that right again? You invoked the right to an attorney. I just want to be very clear that you're waiving your
I
right.
just lost it today.
Okay. Is there something that happened? I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to turn it back on because you're requesting to talk to me. Okay? Is that fair? This is George McClain. President is Beatrice Bijou.
Did someone die today?
I will tell you 3 people got hit by your car, and one of them is going up to Longwood for treatment. I don't know what their status is.
I'm
And
really sorry.
I believe you. I believe you. I think you're a good person that has some bad things going on, and I'd like to get you some help. Because you requested an attorney, and then you said you don't want an attorney, I'm just going to pretend like I didn't read this, and I'm going to read it to you again.
Okay.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. You understand that, right? Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer,
Can I have a lawyer with me present right now?
if that's what you want, if you want a lawyer, you can get a lawyer. But if you're stating you don't want to answer any more questions without a lawyer, that needs to be made clear to me. Because I ended the interview, and then you said you wanted to talk to me again. So I need to understand, are you okay with talking to me, or do you want a lawyer here?
Where are they going to take me after this?
I'm not sure what's going to happen next. I'm really not sure. Okay?
I want to take my own life right now.
Well, that's not good. And I would like to talk to you. But like I said, when you...
Can I speak to a doctor?
We're probably going to get you a doctor to talk to, at least to start with. But as far as Miranda goes, and my knowledge of the law, you're not entitled to speak to a doctor now. You are entitled to a lawyer, if that's what you would like. I'm willing to talk to you, and it will help us determine...
I'm afraid.
What are you afraid of?
I don't know, I'm just afraid right now.
Okay. I'm going to read this last sentence again. Okay? I want you to listen to what I'm saying. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer, you can still have the right to stop at any time. Do you understand that? Okay, so you can say, stop, I want my lawyer. I don't want to answer anymore. You also have the right to stop answering any time until you talk to a lawyer. So, what I'm saying is, if you'd like to continue talking with me, I'm willing to listen to you. I also have questions I'd like to ask you. If you do not want to talk to me. If you want your lawyer present, I'm not going to ask you any more questions, and I'm not going to talk to you because I don't want to violate your rights. Okay? So, what do we want to do? Do you want to talk a little bit more?
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Just a
okay.
little bit.
Whenever you don't want to talk, just tell me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So you said a couple things while we were trying to read this that you're scared right now. Is that a normal feeling for you? Okay. Is there something specifically that scared you today before you hit people with your car? Tell you what, let's not talk about that, okay? You told me that you wanted your phones to delete stuff off social media. What's on your social media that you're worried about people seeing?
My accounts. I don't want people seeing my accounts open. I just want to delete them
Why?
because this is embarrassing.
Did you put something on there? Did
No.
you videotape hitting people?
No.
Okay. Is there any indicators on there that this is going to happen to them?
No.
Okay. Then I guess I don't understand what would be embarrassing.
I intentionally tried to hit those people because of voices in my head telling me to do it.
Okay.
I intentionally tried to hit people because I heard voices in my head telling me to kill myself and to kill people.
What do those voices sound like?
I don't want to answer that.
Okay. Is it the same voice?
I don't want to answer that.
Okay. You don't want to talk about the voice at all with me? Okay.
Too demonic.
Demonic? Okay. Did something happen today when you were sitting in your car that got you upset?
My car. I'm upset. The fact that I have bipolar and schizophrenia has been haunting me for a long time.
Okay.
I don't want to accept that I have it.
Okay. Well,
It's hard to accept that I'm.
The detective tries to determine what exactly triggered her actions. Initially, Beatrice asks for a lawyer, but then changes her mind and agrees to keep talking. She's read her Miranda rights again, with the reminder that she can stop anytime. Still torn, she hesitates, but soon she opens up. Beatrice confesses she did try to kill people that day because the voices told her to. She describes them as demonic and says she struggled to accept her diagnoses. Her voice is shaky. She knows what she did, but she says it wasn't her. It was something inside her, something she couldn't control. At this point, the detective pauses for a break.
all right. So I'm trying to think where we left off.
The gun in 2021.
Okay.
I purchased the gun.
Okay. And your brother has it right now? Mm-hmm. And it's in the safe? Mm-hmm. And that's all at your house at 809? Okay. And it's your brother? Your mom and dad, and sometimes your sister that live there? Mm-hmm. Do you have a boyfriend or anything?
Yeah, I have a boyfriend.
Okay. Where does he live?
He lives in Loxahatchee.
Okay. When was the last time you talked to him?
Last night.
Okay. Is everything good with him? Yeah. How long has he been your boyfriend?
He's my fiance.
Okay. When did you guys get engaged?
We got engaged. I don't want to talk about him.
Okay. Is there something wrong?
Between him and I?
Yeah. I'm listening. I'm just multitasking.
There's nothing wrong between me and him.
Okay. Well, that's good. So that's not the problem today?
No.
Okay. Is there something else that's on your mind?
I don't want to kill myself.
Yeah, we covered that, but you've wanted to do that for 3+ years, so when did you graduate law school?
I graduated in 2016.
Where'd you go?
Nova Southeastern University.
Nova, huh? Mm-hmm. There's somebody else that wants to know. What type of law do you practice?
Personal injury.
Okay. Do you like that type of practice? You okay? Did you text or call anybody and tell them you're having a hard time today? No? Is there someone you can normally reach out to talk about these things?
My mental health issues?
Or just when you're having a bad day?
I would like an attorney.
You want to talk to an attorney?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is an attorney going to come here?
Probably, if there's an attorney you want me to call, I can try, but it's going to be up to them.
And we're going to continue the interrogation with the attorney?
I don't. Okay, so you have a right to an attorney, and I'm not going to ask you any more questions. I don't know how soon your attorney, if there's an attorney you want to be here, will get here. She may, well, I mean, very well could happen is the attorney said, okay, I'll represent her. I'm not going to be able to be there today. Don't ask her any more questions.
Okay.
And then
Where am I going to go tonight?
Well, I got to confer with my other people, and we're going to talk about that. I don't have a straight answer for you, okay? From a legal standpoint, you hurt some people today. You meant to hurt them today. So that's a crime. From a mental health standpoint, you're telling me that you're under a psychiatrist's care and that you have issues, and that voices were telling you to do things. So I have to balance out things like, did you mean to do it and you know you're breaking the law? I mean, you're an attorney, so I know you understand that, right?
Understand what?
What I just said.
What'd you just say?
That you asked me where you're going tonight. Okay? And I have to balance out what happened today, the fact that you told me you meant to do it, which constitutes a crime. However, the defense for a crime could be your mental health. And I have to figure out if your mental health is a priority or if the criminal action is a priority.
What if I want to kill myself?
Well, there's places you can go for that. Okay? The jail does have places to hold people that are suicide risk.
Am I going to get food?
You will always get food.
Okay,
No matter where.
I'm hungry right now.
Okay. No matter where I take you, I'm going to get you some food, okay? All right. Sit tight. If there's an attorney you want me to
Is
specific,
there something that I can eat right now?
let me see what I can do for you, okay? I don't know what we have laying around. Obviously, do you have a preference on something? No? Just food? Okay. Apple's not holding you over. Right? Yes? No? Yes?
The apple I ate?
Yeah.
No, it's...
It's gone. All right. Let me see what I can do for you, okay? All right. Sit tight.
Can I call my boyfriend? My fiance?
Do you know who his phone number is? You don't know his phone number?
It's in my phone.
Where are your phones?
In my bag, in my red bag.
Okay. Can I go in there and do you have two phones in there? Which phone do you want me to get?
The skinnier one.
The skinnier one?
Yeah.
All right. Sit tight.
After the break, Beatrice is allowed a brief phone call with her boyfriend. The detective even brings her some food. Meanwhile, officers continue their standard processing, taking photos and handling paperwork, before returning to the interview.
Where was I? I think I was in Boca Raton.
Okay.
It got diagnosed in Fort Pierce, though.
Is that after you were Baker acted?
Yes.
Okay. That was through the Port St. Lucie Police Department?
No.
What did you had an incident with Port St. Lucie Police Department, correct?
I did. How do you know that?
Because that's my job. So what I'm trying to do is establish what you know about, or what your past experience has been. That's what I'm trying to understand. Okay? I'm trying to find out if there was commonality in the things that are making you upset. Or if it's just totally random. There's no way to control, there's no way to predict. Do you want to share with me what happened? Because I don't know everything
In Port St. Lucie?
with any of it. How many times have you been Baker acted besides that time?
4 times.
You've been Baker acted 4 times. What other places? Where else were you Baker acted?
In Texas?
Okay.
Twice.
Is that after you tried to kill yourself?
No.
No. Did you get Baker acted after that?
I don't know.
Okay. What happened in Texas?
So, I was hearing voices,
Okay.
and I started praying like this, running around my building and praying like this,
Mm-hmm.
and just running around my building and praying very loudly.
Okay. And you got Baker acted for that?
Yeah.
And there's a second time?
Yes.
What was that?
That was when I think I left my building and I went to I can't remember, but there was a second time I was Baker acted twice in Texas.
In any of these Baker acts, did you try to hurt people?
No.
Okay. Did you try to hurt yourself and it was a reason for the Baker act?
I don't think so.
Okay. Does it sound likely?
Psychosis.
Okay, so you just weren't in your right mind and that was the reason for a mental health evaluation?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 2 times in Texas, and then I'm going to assume 2 times in Florida?
I think it's 3 times in Florida. Let me
Okay.
see. 3 times in Florida.
Okay. What happened with those instances?
The first time I was in Boca Raton, I started hearing voices and I tried to jump out of my window because I thought I could fly. And I lived on the 8th floor.
Okay.
But for some reason I didn't jump.
Okay.
And I started having symptoms of psychosis and all sorts of mania. And I ended up in the mental health institution. When I drove from Boca Raton to my parents' house, they Baker acted me at Martin Memorial Hospital in Stewart.
Okay.
And that's all I would like to say
Okay. About Baker acts.
about this entire discussion.
Okay. So you want to stop talking?
Yes.
Okay. Do you feel better telling me this?
Yes.
Okay.
Little by little, I feel better telling you.
All right. If at any time you want to talk to me again, we can talk again. Okay? Is that fair? Okay. We're going to stop talking for now. And if
Okay.
you want to talk to me until such time they're done their paperwork, I'll come back in and talk to you. All right.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
May want to talk again.
Okay. What's on your mind?
I want to tell you more about the Baker Acts.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. You know how this goes. So, Lieutenant McLean, we are speaking again. The time is now 4:32 in the evening, afternoon. You still have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used to you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have them with you during questioning. If you're not afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish. You decide to answer questions now without a lawyer
You know
present.
what? I'll get a lawyer. I'll get a lawyer.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Just sitting here and hanging out. How about
Okay.
that? All right.
Sorry, I'm just nervous.
It's okay. You're allowed to be nervous. You've had a long day. What do you like to do for fun?
I like to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You been any place cool?
Yeah, I've been to France, Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom, all around the Caribbean.
Nice. I did. I've been to the UK. I've been pretty much just in London. I did South Africa, did Cape Town, Swaziland, Zimbabwe. Been to Mexico and all through the Caribbean a bunch of times. Yeah, I like to do that too. It's fun. Get to see different parts of the world and see how people live. Love talking to people. Do you speak other languages? What do you speak?
Haitian Creole. I'm Haitian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you live there?
No.
No, just family.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you born here in Florida?
I was born and raised
Okay.
in Florida.
Local?
Hmm?
In Stewart?
Yeah, born and raised in Stewart right here.
Okay.
Palm Beach Road.
So did you go to Martin County?
No, I went to Jensen Beach High School.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, forget about that. Who was the principal then?
I don't remember.
Where'd you go to college?
FIU, Florida International University in Miami.
And then you went to Nova?
Yeah, for law school.
Very good. Very good. That's quite the accomplishment.
Thank you.
So when did you get engaged?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. We're just making conversation. That doesn't have to do with today.
Recently.
Okay. How'd you guys meet? Or if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine too. I'm just making conversation. It has nothing to do with today.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Will I have access to my phone numbers in jail?
Not your actual phone numbers. Are there numbers you want to write down?
Yeah.
The same phone or the other phone?
The same phone. Actually, both.
Oh,
Yeah.
This real quick. This one was passcode.
532146.
Hey, Miss Nita, I just sent you the application.
All right, so we want to go to contacts. Do you need me here?
Orga Espity.
Here, has he come in?
ORGA. Yeah. Orga Espity.
We got it.
Tasa Espity.
Just making sure these are the same numbers. TOSA.
TASSA.
Okay.
And that's all.
On this one?
Yeah, and Tasa.
I think I got it, Heather.
Okay.
And that's all.
On that. And this one. What's best?
Actually, I don't need that one anymore. And I'll be able to take those with me.
No, these are staying with us.
These numbers?
Yeah, these you can have.
And I'll be able to take that into the jail?
The paper?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think
Okay.
that you can tell them you want to keep those phone numbers and they should be able to help you out.
Okay.
I'm going to make this as small as possible for you.
The conversation resumes with more background. Beatrice speaks about her education, her travels, and her previous mental health episodes. She shares that she's been Baker-acted, involuntarily hospitalized for mental health evaluations in both Texas and Florida. One particularly chilling memory she recounts is of nearly jumping out a window during a psychotic break in Florida. The detective maintains a compassionate tone, encouraging her to continue. Beatrice finally opens up more about what it's like to live with such intense and terrifying delusions.
Okay, I'm ready to talk again.
You want to talk again?
I think one of the phones are on.
They're both off right now.
Are you sure?
They're not powered off, but it may have not been my phone chirping.
No, I think you called someone from my phone. Can you check?
Yeah, happy to check. That one does not have anything going.
Am I calling the wrong? I just had
That one does not have anything going.
Okay.
All right.
Are you the green, George?
Any what? No, they're both in airplane mode.
Okay.
All right. The time is now 4:42. Reviewing your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have him with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any question if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you still have the right to stop answering at any time. You also have the right to stop answering any time until you talk to a lawyer. You understand what I said?
Yes.
Okay. What's on your mind?
A lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to listen.
We're trying to reach her fiance. Do you happen to have a phone number for him?
So this we can talk. Give you some privacy. What's on your mind?
I only tried to kill those people because I heard voices in my head telling me to do so.
Okay. And we've been dealing with those voices for a while, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you take your medication, does it help control that? And this is something the judge is going to want to know, the doctors are going to want to know, because if the medication you're given isn't working, they need to figure out what they can use so that you can function normally.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question.
Okay. Okay. Is it fair to say that medication did its job for 3 years?
I've been off my medication for months at a time.
Okay. Have you had any episodes other than today when you're off your meds?
I've gotten Baker-acted again.
That's what happens when you go off your meds?
Yes.
Okay. You see a pattern? The meds seem like they're working. You go off and you get Baker-acted.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think we can do to keep it so that you're not going off your meds? Is there a reason you go off your meds?
Health insurance. and the doctors.
The health insurance, really?
Mhm.
So, well, maybe as a result of all this happening, we can have some good come of it and get some meds that don't have to necessarily go through your insurance. I don't know. This isn't my specialty, so. But maybe the state of Florida can pitch in and help you get the right meds.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes it takes something bad for people to move through to get to someplace good. Like I told you before, I don't think you're a bad person. I think you're dealing with a bad problem. Mental health is no joke. And
The lawyer, she killed herself.
which lawyer?
Chesley Christ.
Yeah.
She jumped off a building and she just ended it all.
When was
You have
this?
something right here. Yeah, on your eyebrow.
When was this?
This was a week ago, last week.
Did this start up some feelings for you?
Hopelessness.
Yeah. How did you know her?
I followed her on Instagram.
Okay.
She's a lawyer just like me.
Where did she practice?
She was on Extra TV.
Okay. And,
She didn't practice law anymore. She went into Hollywood
okay.
and she lost it and she jumped off a building and fell to her death.
Did you see this on TV?
It's all over the news.
Did it happen recently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did seeing that fact that another attorney decided to take her own life get you thinking about this type of thing? Yeah.
A little bit.
Where did the hurting other people come into it?
The voices.
Yeah.
The voices told me to do something to my little niece this morning.
Did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I didn't touch her.
Good. Well, you have control over it. You got to keep control over it. And I don't know what all the answers are. This is, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. So I don't know what all the answers are. But those are the people that can help you at least get to some semblance of normalcy.
Yeah, I thought about killing my little niece.
How are you going to do that?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. We don't have to talk about that.
Most likely by drowning.
Yeah. Do you guys have a pool? No.
No, I would have had to take her somewhere.
How old's your niece?
She's only 4 years old. But I hear constant
Voices telling you to do something. Well, that's pretty sad. Did something ever happen to you?
when I was little,
What happened?
a lot.
Okay.
A lot of trauma.
Have you ever dealt with those things?
No.
No. Maybe moving forward, that's something you should try to work out. Because if you can't treat yourself right, you're definitely not going to treat other people right.
She won't ever hear that, right?
No. On one of your Baker Act paperwork, it said you were suffering from PTSD. What's that about?
PTSD?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get that?
It's a court document, which is a public record. It's okay.
It's a secret.
Do you want to tell me your secret?
It's bad.
People don't get PTSD from good things. And a lot of good people. PTSD is a normal person's reaction to an abnormal situation. There are things we're not supposed to see. There's things that we're not supposed to go through. And there's things that our body, our mind, just doesn't know how to process. And that's when people get certain mental health issues. Post-traumatic stress disorder, post-traumatic stress. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person, it means something bad happened to you.
It's too much
Okay.
to talk about. It's too much. It's too evil.
We don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. What are some good things that have happened to you?
I got engaged.
That's awesome. What else? Got engaged, graduated law school,
Graduated college.
college. That makes you a pretty amazing person. All those things right there. What else?
What else?
Come on, there's always something. You've traveled. You've seen part of the world. That was happy times, right? Okay.
Yeah, I got to travel.
And you know what? When you get through this, and this is on the other side, and you work out your own stuff, then you can hopefully see the rest of the world. Because there's a lot more to it than just Europe. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where else do you want to go?
I want to go to Africa,
Yeah.
Asia,
Yeah.
Philippines. The Philippines. Thailand. I
Yeah.
want to go to Thailand.
I want to do Australia. I like to go to French Polynesia, Tahiti, Bora Bora, stuff like that.
See the crystal clear water.
No, I love the water. I want to do the national parks in the United States. I want to see all the national parks.
Yosemite.
I live in the Smoky Mountains, and I do.
How was that?
It's nice. It was a good time. Very peaceful. We had a cabin up there and stuff like that for vacation, and got to see that. It was spring break, but it started snowing. It got so cold.
Oh.
Did part of the Grand Canyon when I was about that tall, so I want to go back and see it when I can remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's gotta have goals. That's what you need to do. You need to set yourself some goals. You know, work through some things, treat yourself to something. Work through some more things, treat yourself to something. The more you talk about it, the easier it's going to be for you. Don't have to talk about it with me. I'm not asking you to, but you got to talk about it for you with somebody.
The trauma.
Whatever's going on out there.
Okay.
Okay, can you promise me that? All right. Is your niece your sister's Chuck? You know, but they don't live with you, or they do sometimes?
They do sometimes. They live there sometimes.
What's your sister do? Is she as smart as you?
She's a waitress.
Yeah, where she work?
She works at Hooters.
Okay. Down in Palm Beach?
No, she works at Hooters, and I think Broward and Pembroke Pines, I think.
That's a long drive from here.
Yeah. Please don't tell my sister that I wanted to do that to her baby.
I'm not talking to your sister.
Okay.
This is you and me talking. Okay.
She would not look at me the right way.
Probably not understand. But like I said, you're not making very thought out decisions right now.
Yeah.
We need to get you some help.
I don't think I would ever do anything to her.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
I'm afraid that I'm gonna lose my fiance over this. He won't want to talk to me.
Why is that?
He'll think I'm crazy. Can I put his number down?
Sure.
Okay.
Which one?
This one.
The small one?
Mm-hmm. His name's Kyle.
What's the code again?
532146. Kyle Robert Luce. Nine? That's a 9?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Would you be willing to voluntarily give a sample of blood? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
They're gonna take it here?
I'm going to see if they will. I'll have a paramedic come over and see if they can take a sample.
Actually, no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Can I bother you one more time?
Sure.
She goes deeper into her experiences with the voices, how they demand she hurt people, how they feed her paranoia. The detective reassures her that having a mental illness doesn't make her a bad person. Beatrice breaks down, saying she fears her fiancé will leave her and worries what her family will think if they learn how dark her thoughts really are. Eventually, she provides her fiancé's contact information. When asked for a DNA sample, Beatrice hesitates. She's emotionally drained, and before being taken to jail, she requests a break to use the restroom. Later, the police interviewed her siblings.
How much do you guys know about her boyfriend?
If you want to just...
Yep, sit down with you.
I don't know anymore, but I've talked to him a couple of times.
You guys ever hung out socially or anything?
No.
Do you know anything about their relationship?
Yeah, we have a good relationship.
My name's Joe Calderon. I'm the detective working at, Detective Lee. Can I just get your names real quick, just to know who I'm talking to?
Tassa, T-A-S-S-A.
Uh-huh.
Last name is E-S-P-A-D-Y.
Okay. Can I get a phone number for you?
78.
And your sister?
Yeah.
Are you also related?
Yeah, my brother Patrick. How many siblings do you guys have?
One more older brother. He's 32. Lives in Brooklyn.
Last name Espity, and then former Albies.
What's your name?
Where does Beatrice get her last name from?
Beatrice changed her last name. So her last name was originally Beatrice, but she changed it to like my grandma's last name. Why? Just cause.
How long ago?
About 6 years ago. It's been a while.
What do you guys know about what's going on today?
I don't know as much. I just know that my mom called me and she said that something's wrong with Beatrice and that somebody's injured and they're not doing too well. And when I think it was you that I spoke with.
Yes, ma'am, it was me.
And I know that you told me my sister was being charged with, what was the charge?
Attempted homicide.
Not attempted homicide. It was
aggravated. She has four counts of attempted homicide and one count of aggravated assault.
Aggravated assault. Yeah. And I didn't know.
Aggravated assault or aggravated battery?
Aggravated assault.
I'm sorry.
Aggravated assault. And then I didn't know that she was being charged with 4 counts of attempted murder until I saw, because we're from Stewart. Okay. Born and raised. We've been living in the same house for 20 years.
Are you on Palm Beach Road?
Palm Beach Road. Yeah. So we're from Stewart, born and raised. I didn't know anything about this. I just know that my sister, she suffers a mental condition. She graduated from Nova University.
With a law degree.
With a law degree. She has a law firm in Fort Lauderdale. She had, she's been hospitalized multiple times. She's also been hospitalized in Texas. I've flown to Texas.
How did she end up in Texas? That we were all kind of wondering how that happened.
She just got up and said, I'm moving to Texas. She literally, I guess that's one of the signs of your illness. Sometimes you just do like random things.
Yeah.
So she randomly got up and moved to Texas, and I've been mostly the person that's been behind my sister this entire time. So I've flown out to Texas many times, Dallas, Texas. I've been to the hospital. This was during COVID. I wasn't able to see her, but I had to fly out, get her car, because she was having episodes. So I think this is another episode because she posted on Facebook that she's in a relationship. So she posted on Facebook that she's engaged. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, he's cool, they have a good relationship. I don't know what happened, but I know that she's having a mental episode, and jail right now, she needs to be in like a stable place, but she shouldn't be in jail. She should be in the, what is it called again?
New Horizons.
Yeah, New Horizons.
Or, what was the other one?
She should be in New Horizons.
Four Shores.
Yeah, and she was hospitalized in Texas as well. A couple of times, because if you know my sister, we grew up in the Catholic Church, St. Joseph's. No criminal background. My sister wouldn't touch a soul. My sister would, like, somebody would fight her, she would literally put her hands up. My sister is a good person. So this is shocking, because everyone knows that my sister, she volunteers for the Boys and Girls Club. She's volunteered with the police department in Boca. She's not violent at all. So this is a mental episode that she's experiencing.
Do you see her every day?
I see my sister every day. I live in Fort Lauderdale, but I'm here all the time.
So you live she lives on Palm Beach Road, right?
Yeah.
Do you live on?
Yeah, I live with her.
Did you see her yesterday or today?
This morning.
I saw her this morning.
This morning.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, I believe. So I was still like sleeping in days. She just said hello to me, and then she just left.
Okay.
She was still in the house. She went to her room.
Was she dressed in like going out clothes? She just in professional clothes?
She was just dressed in regular clothes, but you know.
What are regular clothes for her? I mean, just like casual clothes, like she would go to the mall with, or?
No, like in the house clothes. Because my sister, ever since she moved from Dallas, we've been keeping an eye on her and haven't been like having her like go out. Like the only times that she's went out is with her new relationship. That's it.
When did she move back? Sorry to take off, but I'm just.
Beatrice, 6 months?
6 months.
Last year.
Okay.
She moved back because she needed to be closer to us, because she just has, and she was too far. So she would have episodes and we would have to fly out to Texas. So that's why she moved back, because we needed to be, I'm about to move back to help Beatrice, but I saw her this morning and I'm not gonna say she looked like different or strange or anything, but I don't know, sometimes I noticed like a little bit, but she was just like, oh hey Toss, I was like, oh hey, and she just walked outside and she walked inside, but I do know that.
Did she leave after you?
No, she was in the house. I heard her. She just said hi. I was waking up because like I usually go to school.
And I know she's when she stops taking her medication, she has.
Did she stop?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know if she stopped or she
Are you
went down.
monitoring her medication? Like, hey, did you take it today? Did you take it today? Did you take it today? Or do you just assume she is?
We ask her.
Okay, and usually it's you live with her. It's usually
we keep an eye on our
She
sister.
comes home with her medication.
Yeah, and she's usually in the room just like on the computer. That's it. She's like not doing anything else.
Is she working?
Yeah, she works from home. So she's leaving the law field.
Oh yeah.
She's leaving the law field, and she was actually in school for nursing, but she had an episode again, so she couldn't. So she had to leave. So she couldn't be in school for nursing again. It's been a really tough year for her because my sister, she almost tried to commit suicide in Boca Raton at her, in Boca Raton at her old apartment. So it's been a tough year. Like it's been a tough year for our family.
Yeah.
So this is really, really tough because when I tell you I've been trying to help my sister as much as possible with her mental illness, I've been trying as much. She's never ever had an issue like in school. Like
how old when this all started? How old was she? Or is this
after law school? It's when she became an attorney.
Did anything traumatic happen to her that triggered this?
You know, her psychologist said that sometimes when you wake up at like 5 a.m. and you're not sleeping and you're just working and you're not sleeping and like you're just
Yes, I understand that. I just know there's not a single event that you could peg that happened. I mean, some people are assaulted, some people see things that normal people aren't supposed to see. Nothing like that at all.
I mean, we've had family members that passed away, but that's normal. Like my grandmother.
Yeah, no, death is normal. I'm speaking of, like, did she witness a horrific car crash? She, was she, like, sometimes, honestly, and unfortunately with some women, they get assaulted and, this is what, something flares up and, so there's no one event that.
No, there's no, like.
Does it run in the family? Does anybody else, like, have any type of bipolar disorder or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
People have bipolarism in my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any idea how her and her boyfriend met?
I don't know exactly how they met. I just know that my sister was like, oh, I have a boyfriend. I was like, oh, okay. And I've been talking to him. And I don't know.
What about any other boys in her life? You guys ever seen them?
No, my sister, she hasn't been dating for a long time. Ever since she's got this illness, she used to date an attorney that lived in Fort Lauderdale. And he saw her illness and he was like, no, I can't, you know what I'm saying? He was like, this is really sad for me because when I tell you guys my sister worked so hard. My sister graduated 21. She passed her bar exam on the first try. She graduated Nova at the top of her class. So this happened out of nowhere. And she's only had like one boyfriend in Dallas, but she ended up breaking up with him because she was moving back here.
Okay.
But
yeah, I guess we're just trying to figure out if something happened today, or is it just she didn't take her medicine today?
I think it's just she didn't take her medicine, because when you don't take your medicine, you're gonna end up back in the mental.
Yeah, your levels drop. I mean, taking your medicine right now is not gonna help until she builds up
Because this is not my sister at all. This is none of us. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, I'm born and raised in still Florida and everybody is shocked. Like, they're blowing on my phone, they're shocked. I'm like, guys, I don't even know what's going on right now.
Do you have any other questions for us? Because I think it sounds like we have a pretty good understanding of.
Okay.
Where your sister's at?
Yes, I do have some questions.
Go ahead.
do you guys know what the next process is? Are you guys going to admit her to a mental institution?
We are not.
Okay.
As law enforcement officers, we are not.
Yeah, I mean, if something happens in the court system, if she gets, you know, sent to mental health court or they do something, that's up to them. We can only do so much. She drove into the group of people. She said she wanted to kill them. So like our hands are kind of tied in the sense that she committed a crime. Like she tried to kill people. So with her never being arrested, you know, depending on like what her mental status is, might get her into a program. But that's going to be down the road. It's not going to be tonight.
Bond information. Does she have a bond?
She will not have a bond until she sees a judge tomorrow because of the gravity of the charges.
Are you able to disclose if I'm just concerned about the victims? Did anybody pass away?
No,
Are they?
And it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. But
Okay.
I mean, we did have one that was flown to Longwood Medical Center with some significant injuries, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be fatal.
Okay, I'm just happy that's okay. And I guess the rest is we just have to get an attorney for her.
Yes, ma'am, and like I said, I encourage everyone to just get the attorney and go through the process. I explained it to your sister as best as we could. I mean, she understands it, you know, here and there, but she seemed like she had some bouts of clarity. You know, just because we charge them doesn't make them, you know, necessarily guilty. It just makes them that there's an well, I mean, in this case, pretty much, I mean, there's an astonishing amount of evidence. I mean, between surveillance footage and your sister's confession, that was her intent. And I mean, without even her confession, just watching the video, I mean, there's no other intent. Her car would careen straight into people sitting on the sidewalk on Fresh Market. So.
Okay, so she would just I get what you're saying. She just has to seek an attorney and go through the court system.
And hopefully, I mean,
I just wanted to come and talk to you guys because I know
we appreciate it. We understand, and we appreciate it. Like I said, we have no ill will at all against your sister, but when you do something like that, I mean, we don't have much of a choice.
No, I understand when you commit a crime.
That's what happens, and if the long-term care that she needs is a mental health facility, then I hope she gets it.
Okay. Thank you so much. I just wanted to come and talk to you guys.
If you guys need anything or you have questions, we can only answer so much. But if you have a question or you're not sure about something, you can call us.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
The case of Beatrice Bijous continues to haunt us, a stark reminder of how quickly the seemingly normal can descend into the unfathomable. Whether you believe her claims of demonic influence or view it as a tragic manifestation of severe mental illness, the terror she unleashed on that day is undeniable. This story forces us to grapple with difficult questions about responsibility, mental health, and the limits of our understanding when confronted with acts of seemingly inexplicable violence. The legal ramifications, complex and challenging, ultimately sought to reconcile a horrific crime with a mind in turmoil. We hope this deep dive has provided you with a more comprehensive look into this truly unsettling case. If you found this analysis compelling, please don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of true crime stories that challenge our perceptions. Thank you for watching.